Hello, good day, and welcome back to Salt and Sanctuary. We had defeated the Kraken Worm, I believe, in the previous episode. Hence you see me unequipping all my fire defense equipment. We're wearing the blacksmith's armor set, the best fire defense we have, and I believe the best fire defense armor set that you can have in this point of the game. Nothing defeats it. It really made the fight with the Kraken Worm super easy. You could actually afford standing in the fire for a couple of seconds and still surviving, maybe with a little bit with enough health to actually not die. So it was quite interesting to see the role of fire defense in that fight, but to be honest with you, I think it might not have been that necessary, because I believe most of the fire attacks were extremely dodgeable, if that's a word. You could evade them quite easily if you knew the timing, so it might not have been necessary. And definitely a shield with high fire defense was definitely not needed. I didn't need to block. Now, in this video for today, I believe this will be a short intermission, because this is where we will do a little bit of traversing so that we may find, well, you could say there'll be a branching path. That's the least I can say. But for now, this we just have to clear out a few rooms so that we can gain access to a secondary path which will lead us to our NPC. But at first, we need to head back to the Bandit's Pass. Reason being, I told you guys about the Bulwark, the Sword Knight's weapon that we needed to transmute, and I believe we got a Ashen Idol or Amber Idol. So we're gonna make the Shrouded Bullock today, and really amazing sword. I believe that was what I was checking, and I realized that I actually didn't have enough salt. So always remember that transmuting weapons, though you may have the ingredients to do so, you still need additional salt, not gold. I thought that you needed gold. You actually need salts to transmute whatever weapon is required to make the boss weapon that you need. It's kind of weird. I would like to say that the alchemist, which is something you can someone who you can sacrifice to any sanctuary to serve that sanctuary, can be put at any time, but then the person who sells boss armor, who's the merchant who travels, you last saw at the Castle of Storms, you have to actually actively go and look for him, which is quite weird. And if you notice that the Shrouded Bullock is actually the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy, Cloud's main sword. that's literally one of the main reasons why. And I remember when I first saw this game, I once saw a character build that was utilizing the Gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII, which was quite cool. So I'm hoping that we'll get to see some of these great homages to weapons of long past games, long past RPGs, famous weapons that we'll get to see hopefully in this game. I'm not too sure if there are any throwbacks like that, but it's a welcome change. So we're gonna head back, I believe, to the Red Hole of Cages. And the reason being, like I said, there are two main paths that we need to take. We've been to the rooftops and we've defeated the dragon. That's already been taken care of. Before we can go to the lower levels of the dungeons, though, we need to clear out the Red Hole of Cages, and there will be some interesting monsters. The Shrouded Bullock, though, doing quite a significant chunk of damage in comparison to our Claymore, and you have to consider that was a level 2 Claymore. We had already put in some upgrades into that, and we're already doing comparative similar damage, if not greater damage, and it's not even upgraded yet. I don't know, though. That would have to be something I would have to test at some point. I've got a tower shield for that, type 46. I wonder why, though, the type 46. A large and heavy shield of highly refined steel, mass-produced in the Federation of Castrock by means of industrial-scale sand casting. This model was designed for issue for heavy infantry units the nation's enormous army. Its metal composition reflects stuff that I couldn't read. But I was saying I'd like to see if I were to take a level 1 claymore and then craft a shrouded boar, will that damage be the same as me maybe taking a level 2, level 3, maybe even level 5 claymore that maybe I'd been using and upgrading for quite some time? I take that same claymore and craft the shrouded bullock. Will it be the same amount of damage for the new weapon that's transmuted, or will it scale up to represent the amount of resources that you've put into it? And try pick up this one item up here. Get a silver leaf. Then down on the left hand side, trap. And get a fireball. I don't know if that's counted as a sorcery or a prayer, because I didn't see a section on the skill tree for pyromancies. So I'm not sure if it's a magical spell or it's a prayer spell or a prayer miracle. But down here we do pick up a stone merchant and one enemy we have to fight quickly before we can see what he has behind him. And we pick up the amethyst hood skirt and bodice, elegant silk bodice. The dress like this have been worn by nobility, though the design seems more in the line of what a highly ranked noble handmaiden would have worn. Handmaidens. What are handmaidens' duties? Got the warden's gloves there. Handmaidens are usually at service to royalty. So for example, princesses, mainly females. So a queen, a princess would have had a handmaiden as her personal assistant that would have helped in the likes of preparing clothing, that would have helped in personal tasks, cleaning up for the noble person, queen, princess, or any noble woman, helped in dressing and stuff like that. So if we found this amethyst handmaiden's clothing here, could it mean that the princess is here? That would be very interesting, because there's no point in handmaidens coming to a place without their royalty. They don't move separate from each other. I'm gonna pick up something up here. Vile charm. Pungent wooden charm, dyed green and wrapped in roots. Poison drenched flora and fauna thrive in the continent's deepest, darkest woods. Most are wise to avoid such dangers, while others find bizarre comforts in such things. It will imbue your weapon with poison. Which can be quite cool, I guess, for a fast-hitting weapon. You can really get someone poisoned quick in this game, if you can dish out the attacks quick enough. Don't think it would be wise for me with such slow-hitting weapons, unless there's a way to increase the poison build up per swing, making it a little bit more. Oh my goodness. Those things do a decent amount of damage. I believe I could have rolled, but I was scared to fall off the edge by rolling, so I ended up just dying in general. Made our way back for revenge though. I wasn't having none of that nonsense. But yeah, that's what I think. That's the reason. Fair and fine, maybe that armor set has significance in terms of gameplay. Maybe it's got some stats that are good for certain types of builds. Of course, it wouldn't just be there for nothing. But in terms of the lore description of the armor set itself, I would like to believe it's trying to hint at the fact that they made a case that, yeah, sure, this could be worn by royalty, but also it could just be worn by handmaidens of royalty, both of which assuming the fact that they could be royalty in this area, royalty that's been imprisoned in the hall of cages here, but imprisoned by whom? We've seen the wardens patrolling. The guys with sights are the wardens, and if you kill them, you get their warden armor set. Just so you know. So they are the ones in charge of the jailing of people here, probably salt-born, came washed up shore by shipwrecks. They would collect them and cage them up here. For what reasons, I'm not too sure. But the wardens keep charge of this prison. And noblemen's or noble people's clothing is being found there, meaning they could be noble prisoners kept here. Really sticky situation. Really doing decent damage. But anyway, for anyone wondering why I was saying that this is an intermission episode, this was just a short recording I did a while back, and I'd wanted to just use it as a notification that after this I'll try to do some post commentary for a couple episodes and see how that goes, because I just want to save up on time. The problem with doing post commentary is that you need to allocate time to recording the gameplay, and then you edit it into segments that you like to do commentary for, and then you actually have to spend more time doing the commentary. So a 30-minute episode would require technically 30 minutes to record and 30 minutes to do commentary. So 30-minute episode becomes 1 hour episode's worth of your time. So I want to see if I can cut that back a bit, and by cutting down on time, hopefully it should mean that the episodes I can make more episodes in the same amount of time I was doing one episode. Or I could just stretch out the length of the episode so that we can cover more ground in one segment. So far I've been only doing about 20 to 30 minute, maybe even 40-minute episodes, because of the fact that that's as much as I can do post commentary for without taking a break. I can sit down and talk for at least 30 to 40 minutes. 50 minutes is stretching it. I get bored at some point and I run out of topics. Let's see, get the Tachi, unusually light and graceful sword of Kahir, class 2 sword, the katana. Really cool. Too bad this isn't a dexterity build. But if I were to find some extra points to put into dex and make a quality build, I'll definitely do it, because I saw some really cool and interesting dex weapons that I would like to showcase. Some polearms, some spears, some of these katanas, maybe find a dagger or two, maybe even a whip. It would be really interesting to have like a sword in one hand, whip in the other, see how that goes. Now over here we have this weird enemy type. I don't even know how to explain it. They teleport you to them and then they drop you. So if the guy is high up in the sky, you are about to take some fall damage, pretty much. And that's all they do. And the thing is, if you're ever in bad luck, they can start chaining it so much that you don't really have that much time to recover from all the fall damage you'll be taking. And they are a waste of time. Now over here I was running into some problems trying to make this jump. I don't know why I didn't just realize sooner or later that it was just best to leave. You don't have to deal with such nonsense sometimes. Hey, the fire damage is really good. I don't know if you'll be able to imbue your weapons with elemental damage. Just seeing those guys throwing those fire weapons got me interested. Imbue a weapon like this, maybe with fire or bolt. So I'd be doing some elemental big swings with the great sword. It would be really cool. across here, we get to pick up Pendragon Tage. And that's a shield class weapon. But sadly, I didn't get to read the description when I was playing. I kind of got sidetracked. I realized I was like, oh, we've been here before. So I could have just came this way, but then I went down and went all the way around. So you could say I cleared this room in reverse order, which was quite weird. But at least we know that we've got a shortcut. If we die, we can just quickly run back instead of going all the way down to the bottom floor and going round. And of which I died. I kind of forgot that there was that gap there. And we lost 17,000 salt. My goodness, that's a few levels that we definitely can't afford to lose. So I quickly made a dash back there. And luckily enough, it was an assault patch on that same level. I thought they were going to put my salts at the bottom level, which would have really been bad for me. I like the way that enemy type just appears there. It's invisible, then you see a blade get close, that the person appears and flips. Really cool. You get to climb one of the longest ladders in this game. Open up this gate over here. And you'll see where we are in a moment, but we've got someone to talk to. You slayed the dragon, and I wasn't even there to help. Sorry. I suppose I need a new quest then. Very well, the ziggurat. Or should I head to the dungeon below the castle? My heart wants whatever lies in the ziggurat, but before it lies that wretched thing. The Dome of the Forgotten, a hollow place wretched with echoes of suffering and misery and pain and... well... As foreboding as it seems, I know it's less terrible than that cursed dome. Whenever you're scared and alone, remember that you are your own hero. Interesting to meet this guy again. He wasn't even there to help us with the dragon, but as I was saying, we've managed to find our way all the way back to the Red Hall Cage's bonfire, or should I say sanctuary, calling it a bonfire. We're back here again. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Live commentary. Woo!